stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
Can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Okay.
Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
Live on all the interwebs and internets, it's Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Fuck yeah!
Alright, we are on the air. Sorry about that last minute glitch. This is, of course, Mic Check Radio. I am your host, Adam Hebert. Wes Karskadin will be with us sometime in the second hour. We got a lot on our plate. I realize this probably isn't, this week wasn't much of a laughing week, but the fact matters. Every time I would say I'm done with the show prep, this is what we're running with, something else would happen, and of course this culminated in the horrible tragedy in Aurora, Colorado. I used to live near there. If I'm not mistaken, Colorado Springs is between 30 minutes to an hour from Colorado Springs, Fort Carson, Colorado. And of course, my heart goes out to them, and I'm sure I speak for Wes as well when I say we support you. Coming up on the program, obviously we're going to talk about that, and of course the right wing's utterly predictable reaction to that. We're going to talk about Mitt's Bane problems. He's so Bane, he thinks he doesn't have to pay all his taxes. We're going to talk to Macaroni, the official rapper of the Stephanie Miller Show, at the bottom of... God damn it, you stupid animal. At the bottom of the second hour, which is hopefully when Mr. Karskadin will be joining us. We'll be talking about... Did you hear about the new conspiracy? Apparently, Bane is meant to bash Mitt Romney. We're going to totally bust that, though. We have proof. We're going to bust that one. A macaroni. And, of course, we have a very special asshole of the week. This guy is a major league asshole. And we're going to take him down for what he said about the shootings in Aurora. We're going to talk about Ann Romney, calling us you people. We the people are the people who are, auditioning you to be our president, you stupid bitch. Who the fuck do you think you are? You people. Fuck you, you stupid whore. And of course, remember my official policy, which is if you do not leave this program having laughed or getting pissed, or both, preferably both, I like to make people laugh, you get your 3 hours back. Just see Dr. Emmett L. Brown, and he will hook you up. So, anyway, let's get started. As we all know, President Obama took over from a very unpopular president, George W. Bush, after 8 years. And he came out of hiding earlier this week to give an interview to the Hoover Institute. Now, this is actually very appropriate because if you know your U.S. history, Herbert Hoover was president during the Great Depression. And it was his supply-side economic policies that caused the Great Depression to grow and grow and grow. This is what I don't get. Why do we keep trying supply-side economics? It didn't work in the Great Depression. It didn't work for Reagan. Why is it going to magically start working now? Magical libertarian pixie dust? Woo! let's hear what the Schlubbenführer had to say about his 8 years. Take a listen.
How did you think through what you wanted to accomplish in your afterlife?
Well, the other person who has served as a role model for me for a long time is George H.W. Bush, who famously said, once you leave the stage, you stay off the stage. And I thought long and hard about that, and decided that the not being on the stage was something I was comfortable with. I mean, Peter,
well, let's just stop there for a second because this is a pretty long clip. How much you want to bet Dad took Junior over and said, "Son, you are about as popular as the Black Plague. If I were you, I wouldn't show my face for a few decades." I'll bet you something like that was said. And I will say this. I have a healthy amount of respect for the first George Bush. He was actually a decent man, good human being, a war hero, and I would say a statesman. And how such an intelligent man could have brought into being such a complete and total dumb fuck is beyond me. Continuing.
there's really no sacrifice in serving the country, particularly if you love the country like I do. But if there is one, it's loss of anonymity, and to a certain extent, I'm trying to, or as best as I can, trying to regain it. Secondly, I think it's bad.
You will never be anonymous again. You idiot. You are the man who turned how big was the surplus? You turned a surplus into a $6 trillion debt, started 2 wars, and nearly crashed the world's economy. You will never be anonymous again.
For the presidency, to have former presidents bloviating, opining, or telling people how it ought to be done. And so I'm this is a rare occasion for me, and I'm thankful you're here. But I really don't want to be in the public eye anymore, and feel a certain sense of liberation not being out there.
You like it better. You like it better.
I really do. I mean, look, 8 years was awesome, and I was famous and I was powerful, and but I have no desire for fame and power anymore.
All right, that's enough with that clip. His 8 years. Oh, and before we go on, well. Victor wants to know why I'm not attacked by newsbusters, and the honest truth is I don't know. Remember, I went after Brent Bozell 3 weeks ago. I challenged them to come after me, and they won't do it. I guess they know they're just outclassed. I'm too smart for them. Anyway, 8 years was awesome. What? It was awesome? Hey, George, do you think the biggest national security failure on in the country's history was awesome? Do you think nearly destroying the entire economy of the world was awesome? How about the millions of Iraqi civilians you butchered, George? Do you think they thought your 8 years was awesome? How about the 6,000 troops you sent to their deaths so you could secure the second largest reserves of oil, George? Your presidency was not awesome. You are the single biggest disaster to happen to this country. The Japanese in World War II, when they bombed Pearl Harbor, had nothing on you. So go crawl back in your hole and die. Do the world a favor. Why don't you use them gun rights you're so fucking fond of, and do the world a favor. Awesome. You insane butcher. It's like these people live, excuse me, in another reality. But, if they're the Death Star, I'm the proton torpedo about to go up their thermal exhaust port. And, Kat, in the chat room mentions that one of her former co-workers was one of the 10 people who died in the movie theater. And of course, my condolences, Kat. Obviously, this is a tragedy, and the only reason why I'm not leading off the show with it is because this is something my co-host Wes wants to discuss as well. And I don't want the whole show to be Aurora. So, we're not ignoring it. We will be discussing it. We're just putting that off until the co-host gets here. I thought it was 13 who died, or was it 10 in the theater, and then I guess 3 died later? Is that what happened? But again, it's a tragedy, and of course the right wing can't shut the fuck up about it. We'll cover this later, but dear God, this and the whole time he has that stupid, arrogant smirk. That arrogant smirk of his, you can't catch me. That stupid laugh, that stupid smirk. Go away, George. The single best thing you can do for this country is to stop existing. So pack your bags. Oh, wait, you can't leave the country. You're a war criminal. My mistake, George. This guy is a complete and total sociopath, and I don't understand how it is that, he was ever considered fit to be in office. We all know it wasn't George W. Bush running the country. We all know that. It was Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney was the guy running the Oval Office. We all know that. Right-wingers, if you're listening, don't bother writing or calling or, I don't have a published number. But don't bother writing with your bullshit because it's not going to work here. The fact of the matter is Bush was a puppet. And Americans are just too stupid to get it, I guess. Because they're about to do it again. God damn it, they're about to make the same fucking mistake again, because it will not be Mitt Romney running this country if he wins. It will be the Mormon Church, whatever. You know what's going to happen with the vice president. The Mormon Church is going to pick it out for him. Remember that the Mormon Church has a prophecy. Mitt has been raised from the cradle to believe he is going to rule, not run, rule the country. Joseph Smith wanted to abolish the secular government of the United States and put in a Mormon theocracy. And Mitt Romney has been raised from the cradle to believe he is the person to bring about this prophecy. He will do whatever the Mormon Church tells him. And I know I said this before, Kenny Pick disagrees with me, and he's basically my adopted big brother, my Yoda-like mentor. I disagree with him. I think we are at severe danger to lapse into a theocracy. I don't care if it's Islamic, Christianity, Mormon. I don't care. Theocracy doesn't work. It does not work. Why we keep trying it again, I don't know, because I believe it was Einstein who said, if you keep trying the same experiment over and over again, expecting different results, you are batshit crazy. But, this is what I keep saying about the right wing. I used the, remember on the July 4th special, we played the bit from Al Franken's book, Lies and Lying Liars That Tell Them. Actually, let me see if I still have that, because I think we should hear that again. So let's see if it's here. Al Franken. Okay, so we are going to we're going to listen to this excerpt from Lies and Lying Liars That Tell Them. I played this on the July 4th episode, what was it, the 7th, I think? The 4th was a Wednesday. So, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. But it's still relevant. And this goes to what I've been talking about. Remember how let's just listen.
Chapter 5. Loving America the Al Franken Way. If you listen to a lot of conservatives, they'll tell you that the difference between them and us is that conservatives love America and liberals hate America. That we blame America first, that we're suspicious of patriotism and always think our country's in the wrong. As conservative radio and TV personality Sean Hannity says, we liberals, quote, train our children to criticize America, not celebrate it. They don't get it. We love America just as much as they do, but in a different way. You see, they love America the way a 4-year-old loves her mommy. Liberals love America like grown-ups. To a 4-year-old, everything mommy does is wonderful, and anyone who criticizes mommy is bad. Grown-up love means actually understanding what you love, taking the good with the bad, and helping your loved one grow. Love takes attention and work and is the best thing in the world. That's why we liberals want America to do the right thing. We know America is the hope of the world, and we love it and want it to do well. We also want it to do good. When liberals look back on history, we see things we're very proud of. And we also see some things which might have seemed like good ideas at the time, but turned out to be mistakes. And some things we did, well, they were just bad. That doesn't keep us from loving our country. It's part of loving our country. It's called honesty. What do you think is more important to a loving relationship? Honesty or lies?
And if you will recall, and I'm sure we have all my regular listeners or viewers in today, I have repeatedly compared modern conservatives to children. Because look at how they behave. They're basically saying, through their actions and their words, excuse me, I think I need to lay off the soda. Conservatives say with their actions and words, if we can't have America, no one will. Isn't that how a toddler sees things? I don't want to share my toy, so I'll break it so no one else can have it. That's how a baby sees the world, how a baby sees things. And that's how the conservatives view America. It's their toy. They have every right to it. And if you try and take it from them, they will break it. They've already broken it. They've already broken it. 8 years of Bush, Citizens United, the shooting in Aurora. And don't go telling me that's got nothing to do with politics. That's bullshit, and we'll talk about that later. But conservatives have broken this country. And every time we try to fix it, they have to stand in the way. Because change scares them. We can't give people health care. The poor might live. Everything they do, when they actually do something, isn't aimed at helping the people, isn't aimed at advancing American interest. It is aimed preserving their political power. And again, if there's a right-winger out there listening, feel free to email me. Challenge me. I'll kick your fucking ass because I know I'm right. Every time I give a right-wing friend of mine a chance, say, let's have an adult conversation, I end up being proven right. I just had a friend of mine post on my wall something that basically insinuated I was a patriot. And I told him, I said, this is your last chance. Stop this bullshit or you're gone. Because, you know what? I have no problem with disagreements. I don't require people who are my friends to agree with everything I believe in. But you will not question my love for my country. I'm tired of it all. I really am. Armin's a nice guy. He says stupid things on occasion that I don't agree with, but goddamn, at least he can, argue like a fucking adult. That's what I want. If I have a conservative on this show, I want someone who can talk like an adult and think like an adult. No wonder why I can't get any of my conservative friends to come on. They know the deck's stacked against them because I told them, I said, I will talk to you as much as you want. But I pull the plug if you insult me, or my friends, or my listeners. Victor will attest to this. Someone, I called him out for calling a friend of mine an idiot. That's not my, disagreement is cool. We need disagreement. We need no more name calling. And we really need to just start doing what's best for this country instead of what's best for ourselves. And that's what this election is about. Is it about doing what's best for you? Or is it about doing what's best for your country? If you're in it for yourself, you're voting for Mitt Romney. If you're in it for the country, you're going to vote for Barack Obama. There are no other options. I'm not trying to say it's black and white. It's not. It's never black and white in politics. I am saying that in this election we have two choices. As much as the system sucks, we have to work within the system until it changes. And unless you want another Bush, you damn well better vote for Obama. Because if you thought Bush was bad, Romney's gonna be just as worse. Worse. My mistake. And I'm spitting on my microphone. Mitt will not be better, even though he's arguably smarter. Because you gotta remember, who is he surrounding himself with? Bush administration folks. Anyway, we are going to go to break. I'm just looking at what we got, and we're going to talk about the Pigman. Actually, we're going to talk about him twice, but I'm saving the conspiracy theory for when Wes gets here. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Pigman, Rush Limbaugh, when we come back. This is Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Smarter than Savage, sexier than Limbaugh.
God, it's like my brain's that tree and you're those little cookie elves.
Smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mike Check Radio.
Come experience the next generation of progressive voices. Weekday nights on Nicole Sandler's Primetime Lineup at RadioOrNot.com. Liberate yourself with Filter-Free Radio, hosted by Jacob Dean every Monday night.
It's just the system is broken. Just bring it down. Bring it all down, right?
On Wednesday nights, take a sharp progressive turn and join Talking Left with Danielle and Shano.
All those Republicans are anti-capitalist.
All of a sudden, well, no, they're just anti-Romney.
Exactly.
and it's interesting to watch the three-legged stool splinter.
Then let it all hang out both Tuesday and Friday nights on Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick.
You love the Constitution so much, but you hate the government, but you love the corporations. Where does that come from?
Tune in to the Primetime Radio or Not lineup weekday nights at the Ustream home of Nicole Sandler. RadioOrNot.com.
I'm sorry, I just find the whole thing so ironic and so mind-bending, it's just ridiculous. The 99 Report with Ally McNeil, covering all the issues that affect the 99% and what drives the Occupy movement. Live on Fridays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/99-report. Podcasts available on the blog, the99report.blogspot.com. And be sure to follow Ally and the 99 Report at Watergate Summer on Twitter. The 99 Report with Ally McNeil, a voice for the majority. Hey! Are you living in a progressive talk void? If so, be sure to visit leftwingradiostations.com. The state-by-state listing is a quick and easy way to find any left-wing talk radio station across America, from sea to shining sea. Your progressive talk nirvana is only a click away at leftwingradiostations.com. Be sure to like Left Wing Radio Stations on Facebook and share it with your friends. Leftwingradiostations.com. United we stand.
Smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
There you go. And we are back. Just so you know, that was a brief cameo appearance by our dog Whizzer. That is his actual name, Whizzer. I did not name him, by the way. I had no role in naming that. His brother was named Tally, and I kept trying to tell Mom, you cannot name these dogs Tally and Whizzer. They're both euphemisms for the penis. Come on! Then she, of course, didn't listen to her favorite child, which is, I always thought was me, but apparently I'm mistaken. Anyway, Paul says thank you for playing the Left Wing Radio Station's ad. Of course, you guys, you've been such a huge groundswell of support. So of course. Before we begin, before we continue, we're not beginning, we're continuing. The Hebert train is, on the move. I guess Hebert and train don't rhyme, but that's okay. First of all, Steph would say he's romantic. Max and Fred would probably eat Whizzer alive. And not because they're, cannibals, just because he's such a small dog. They probably, it's a toy. Talking Left is back. Back on Wednesdays. I guess they aren't coming to Saturdays, so I'm safe, people! Hooray! As far as I know, until further notice, this show will not be moving. I talked to Wes about a week ago about a possible shift back so he could be here for more of the show, and he said no, because once the tour season's over at his work, he's cool. So, something to look forward to. I would assume that's probably like after Labor Day. And don't forget to check out my friends at Alien Adoptables. They are doing their charity fundraiser. Darn it. While currently, as far as I know, they're just doing stuff for the time being, to start off with, they're doing mostly auctions that are open only to Alien Adoptables members. However, next weekend, Tenor will be doing her big yearly art weekend, which is basically where she will draw for about 2.5 days, almost 3. Non-stop, only taking breaks to eat, sleep, and drink. She's doing some discount art. I will be posting samples up on the blog tonight. I'm just waiting to hear from Kenny about final approval on our raffle details. I will say that we are going to be raffling off at least one item, which would be the signed copy of the Sexy Liberal Comedy Tour Volume 1 CD, signed by Stephanie Miller, Hal Sparks, and John Fugelsang. And if you choose to get a commission from any of the artists who are doing things open to the public, this is how you can get entered into it. Basically, you go to Tenor, Nikki, Gundam Zero, Jess, and you order your picture. You pay them. When you do, because you'll pay through PayPal, make sure to say, you heard it from here. You heard it from Kenny Pick, Danielle, Shane, Jacob. Anyone who is actively promoting this event, all you have to do is say, I heard it from here. We're doing this on the honor system, okay? Because we have no way to verify whether or not you actually heard. I know, like, Kat, Paul, and Victor, they're the only 3 here, so they obviously are hearing this now. But it's honor system, unless this is abused. Now, if we have people who are just saying it, to try and win, we'll have to change how it's done next year. But this year, it's going to be on the honor system, so please don't abuse that. So basically, you say, I want this picture, you pay, and when you pay using PayPal, you will say include a note saying, I heard this on Mike Check Radio. I heard this from Adam. I heard this from Kenny Pick. I heard this on Turn Up the Night. How, no phrase. We're not going to say it has to be phrased exactly like this, or you're not, just say, give us an idea of where you heard it. Because, first of all, then we at least know you're paying attention. And second of all, this means we can focus on where to do our promoting next year. So, like, Victor is, I don't know if he's talked to Mistress Clarissa and John Shannon yet, but he's working on getting them to promote it. The thing is that if we don't get anyone who listens to their shows to come to this event, they're just wasting their breath. So we probably wouldn't ask them to promote it again next year. Not because it's a failure on their part, just to save their time. They only do an hour show. So keep that in mind. This event is all week long. I've already made a bid for an adoptable, because I'm a member. So I get the good stuff. I get the good shit. If I win, it's gonna cost me $18. So I hope. I've already told them. I said I've got a small budget. But yeah, so I hope y'all will check that out, because and the charities being benefited are World Wildlife Fund. I keep saying Federation. Stupid me. And Human Rights Watch. So go get them. I believe all the artists who are doing stuff that is open to the general public have waiting lists. So if you want a commission from Tenor, I highly recommend you get on her waiting list, because she's already said that as long as you get in your order over this week, she'll do it even after the week is over. For the price that she is promoting now. So, heck, let's say you don't have money this week, but you get paid next week and you want to get a picture. Well, just tell Tenor, put me on the back of the list. As long, if she doesn't get to it, you still get that picture, for that price, when you pay. Alright, I promised we were going to talk about the Pigman, and I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but, I'll tell you what, the guy has a gift for pissing me off. And, you know, I'm tired of them having to lie to go after the president. I don't expect them to be all lovey-dovey. Alright, come on. Again, we're the adults, they're the children. I don't expect them to agree with the president. But they keep taking his words out of context. And here, we got an example. Here we go. Cut one from Rush Limbaugh where he accuses the president of hating his country. And this goes back to what I played from that Rush Limbaugh bit.
And Obama hates that. But folks, look, here he is repeating it. Roads and bridges. The roads and bridges came after what was necessary.
Oh, I think I got my clips mixed up. Oops. Sorry about that. What the hell?
Now here's Obama in Roanoke on Friday night.
If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hard-working people out there. If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we had that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. The internet didn't get invented on its own. Government research created the internet, so then all the companies could make money off the internet.
Yeah, well, you know who really invented the internet was the military. It was a DOD project.
You asshole! The DOD is part of the government, you dumb fuck! It was a DOD project, because apparently that makes it better! It's always amusing to watch these idiots twist themselves into a pretzel to avoid coming to the conclusion that the government can do shit well. We electrified the South. Rural electrification. That was God damn it, what was it? The New Deal. That was part of the New Deal. If I had my way, I would have said, fuck you, traitors. What has the South done? I mean, Jesus Christ, this man is an idiot. And never forget, Rush is a college dropout. He never finished. And, it's a dirty little secret, but, Rush was once sucking on the government teat. That's right. He received them their unemployment benefits that he shouldn't have. Oh, but wait, he's white, so it's cool. It's cool. Only black people shouldn't be able to get unemployment. Only Hispanic people shouldn't be able to get unemployment. You know, the white people, it's okay. Government's here just for them, you know. That's how he thinks. That is how the right wing, they don't say it out loud, but that is what their behavior indicates to me. Let's listen to the rest of the clip.
And Obama hates that. But folks, look, here he is repeating it. Roads and bridges. The roads and bridges came after what was necessary, or what made the roads and bridges necessary. They came after that. This is, I'll tell you what, I think it can now be said without equivocation, this man hates this country.
Wrong.
He is trying, Barack Obama is trying to dismantle, brick by brick, the American dream.
Jesus Christ. What an asshole.
What the hell?
What a fucking asshole. My dad listens to Rush Limbaugh. I keep telling him, I said, Dad, you gotta stop listening to him. You're gonna rot your brain. He doesn't listen to me, of course. In fact, he laughs at me every time I tell him I'm coming in to do the show. Because he doesn't think he's so amused by the fact I take my show so seriously, that I do research all week long. Because, well, I'm going to be honest, I don't have anything to do. I stay in the house the whole week doing, I take care of the dog. I water the garden for Mom while she's out of town. I feed the dogs, the dog, the cats. I've got nothing to do except my research for the show. And he always finds it so amusing when he sees me at the computer cutting up my audio, highlighting articles on my computer. Because it's oh, you liberal. You take this so seriously. Yeah, well, Dad, just remember, I'm the future. And I'm dead serious. It is people like Kenny Pick, Danielle and Shano, Jacob Dean, who are the future of media in this country. Rush Limbaugh is on the way out. And I don't mean because he's probably going to retire in 3 years. I mean traditional media is on the way out. And Rush Limbaugh is going to be all like, when he sees his right-wing empire crumble. Because, let me tell you folks, there are no filters on the internet. I can fucking swear all the fucking hell I want. Now, if I had ever signed on with a network like the wonderful Radio or Not network of Nicole Sandler, I might moderate my language just a tad. But we're the future. God bless Stephanie Miller for what she does. I don't know if I could do it every day. Dear God, just right-wing world alone, 5 days a week. Can you imagine, what right-wing world every day must be like?
It's like being tased in the balls.
It must be like being tased in the balls!
It's like being tased in the balls.
In fact, I would rather be tased in the balls! I would rather have electrodes attached to my junk than have to do that every day. I have to see if I can get Chris Lavoie on, just so I can tell him how much I sympathize with him, because, dear God, just having to hear that and react to that 5 days a week is bad. Imagine how bad it is to have to hunt it down and listen to it and cut the audio just right. 5 days a week. I could barely do it one. Yeah. So, yeah. And Victor, don't forget, you really need to talk to John Shannon about the promotion, because I want as many people on this as possible. Last year they raised $500 for their 2 charities, and I believe that we can. I don't know if we can double it, because we just don't have enough people listening. But I know we can beat that. We could beat that, and we shouldn't settle for less. I want there to be at least $100 in sales from our listeners. That is my goal. $100 just from Radio or Not, Mike Check Radio, whoever else signs on to promote this. Not $100 each, just total. And on this I'm still talking about the fundraiser, just so you know, we're not only going to be raffling off the CD. I am just waiting to see what Kenny and Pete are going to donate. Because what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to take those and organize them into packs. So we'll do a few runners up, or a couple runners up, a second place prize, and then the first place prize will be the CD, the one of a kind cartoon by Pete, and whatever unique shit Kenny comes up with. So anyway, what we heard from Rush Limbaugh goes back to what I just said. Sorry about that. I can't do 2 things at the same time, it seems. But conservatives love America like a 4-year-old loves their mommy. And that explains why they have this obsession with loud and wrong versus soft and right. And they have this obsession with hard control. I'll get Jennifer Swampwitch on sometime to talk tarot. Because in the tarot deck, you've got 2 cards. Strength and Chariot. Strength refers to soft control. Control through words, through, less than physical means. Hard control is with physical acts and intimidation and violence. And remember what, I know I'm getting a little nerdy on your asses, but remember in Star Wars, Princess Leia said, the more you tighten your grip, the more star systems will slip through your fingers. And that's right. The GOP believes in hard control. They're going to tighten their grip. And I, you know what? I'm just, I could respect Rush Limbaugh if he weren't such an asshole and a total dick. I start listening. Paul Green says he listens more when I talk about stars. Well, then you gotta listen in later, because I've got some clips you're gonna love. And they're not just random clips from Star Wars. Like,
we're doomed.
Or,
Curse my metal body, I wasn't fast enough, it's all my fault. Goodness gracious me.
I've got some stuff from Comic-Con. A guy, someone interviewed or talked to Mark Hamill. And he has some interesting thoughts about Mitt Romney that I'm going to share. And before we go to break, I just want to say I've done anime cons for about 8 years, off and on for 8 years, And I've met some interesting people. I met 2 of the second generation Power Rangers at one of them. The second Red Ranger and the second Yellow Ranger. And can you imagine going to a convention like this and just running into Mark Hamill and talking to him? Or Adam Savage from Mythbusters. He does something at Comic-Con every year called Adam Incognito, where he dresses in a costume and he gives you hints and you have to guess who he is based on the hints. Last year he was No Face from Spirited Away. Can you imagine what it would be like to just meet these people? And they talk. Hey, what? You're Adam Savage. And they're like, yeah, it's no big deal. You want to talk? But yeah, so we have some audio from Comic-Con from Mark Hamill, and so that's going to be a treat. And I am currently in the process of making an exclusive booking. A very exclusive and elusive booking. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I received a letter demanding some airtime or she will steal the show. So I kind of have to do it or the show won't be able to go on. We're working on that booking. She's very busy, very elusive. We're going to try and I'm not talking about my mom. My mom's birthday is next Sunday, I think. Yes. My mom's birthday is next Sunday, so we're going to try and get my mom on the show, just so she can see that it's not a big liberal conspiracy. And Paul Green in the chat says, Carrie Byron from Mythbusters is hot. I agree. There's just one problem. She's married with a kid. But she's hot. I'll give you that. Oh, she is smoking hot. Anyway, we are going to go to break. And, we'll figure out what to do from there.
This is Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
see you standing there in the night, dreamy light. I found someone who really cares. In the night, dreamy light, I want to see you smile again. In the night, dreamy light, you know the one I've waited for. In the night, dreamy light, I want to see you standing there. In the night, dreamy light, I found some.
You never know who or what you'll hear when you listen to the Nicole Sandler Show at RadioOrNot.com.
Greg Palast, I realized as we were talking that actually we were supposed to do this on Wednesday. So thank you so much for bearing with me.
Well, I am thrilled that we were doing that. You jumped the other characters.
Me
Because
too.
Nicole, I just think that your show is brilliant, and I want to thank you because my stuff may be prime time and quick, but here I keep slamming into the electronic Berlin Wall, and you have snuck me across and into the information stream. And I hope that your listeners are aware of how important and precious your program is. So I want to thank you.
The Nicole Sandler Show, live Monday through Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, or podcast anytime at RadioOrNot.com.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show. We just got done listening to several clips about the Romney fundraisers over the weekend, and I invented the murder finger. It's an offspring of the murder fist. It just happens to be the murder fist with the middle finger extended.
Well, I'm ahead of you because I've had a hate finger for many years.
Hate finger.
Hate finger. The man with the malcontent touch. Yeah.
Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
What the hell? Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
Can't take it anymore.
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Okay. Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass.
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in. It'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
And now, live on your computer machine, it's Adam Hebert with Mic Check Radio.
Fuck yeah! Here we go again. I demand more. I want it, I need it, and I'm gonna have it.
Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
And we are back. Special thanks, of course, as always, to Kenny Peck, who is so generous in getting all those reads from Tom Schaefer, News Ninja, Progressive Thespian, News Ninja, Progressive Thespian, Magic 8 Ball, all around swell guy. Deba, the official name caller of Turn Up the Night, of course, who will be hopefully on this program sometime soon too. Oh crap! Hold on. Microphone problems. You know, I have received so much support from Kenny and the people of Turn Up the Night. And of course Daniel and Shano from Talking Left are supportive too. With Danielle's new job though, I don't believe we'll be able to have her on again for a while. We'll see. Maybe we'll have her on the next time. When is the next holiday? It's on a Saturday. Don't tell me that's Christmas. Oh, Christmas is on Tuesday. Anywho, get in here. The dog keeps scratching at the door. Anywho, go lay down under the bed. Under the bed. Thank you, Victor. Victor Rocco says he just sent John Shannon an email. Where are you? Where are... Under the bed. Under the bed. Dear God, this dog is obnoxious. Wizard! Anywho, since Wes is... Jesus Christ. I need to start doing better planning because, where are you? What are you after? Alright, out. Obviously, I wanted to hold off on some of this stuff until Wes got here, but we're going to start talking about Mitt Romney and Bain. Turns out he's having a lot of trouble with his story. Let's go over the official timeline. He says that in 1999, February of 1999, he left his company, Bain Capital, to work on the Olympics because they were in trouble. And of course, this trouble was completely manufactured because it was all proven to be a hoax later on. But us Americans, we really do love our scandals, don't we? But he can't get his story straight. So, documents come out that show he was actually running Bain after the time he left. Now, why would he lie? Well, there are several possibilities. First of all, his company Bain bought out Stericycle, which disposed of dead fetuses from abortions. And if this came out, it would damage himself further with his base. Now, let me put this in perspective. All the polling aside that shows them neck and neck, Mitt Romney is in serious trouble. He is in serious trouble because his base does not like him. And if it broke that he was running Bain and he signed off on the Stericycle purchase, he could very well lose the Christian conservatives who have been so far willing to overlook the fact that he's a Mormon. Now, why is his religion so important? Well, simple. Because to the Southern Baptists, the conservative Christians, Mormonism is a heretic faith. Same with Catholicism. Never mind the fact that, Catholicism came first. So if anyone's a heretic, motherfucker, it's you. But they're okay with throwing stones in their glass houses. So the bottom line is he's either lied to the American people or he has lied to the SEC because he signed documents saying, I am CEO, I'm running Bain. And I don't think he committed perjury. I really don't. I believe that he's too smart for that. He's not a stupid man. I believe he lied to the American people. And I do not have all my clips. That's okay. I'll get it in a few minutes. The bottom line is, somewhere along the line, he lied to someone. And you know what drives me nuts is, the Republicans don't care. I remember a time when potential perjury meant so much that they wasted millions of taxpayer dollars to go after the president. Oh, wait. My mistake. That was Bill Clinton, a Democrat. So, how do we get out of this? And Ed Gillespie, former head of the RNC, was talking.
To respond now, senior advisor to the Romney campaign, Ed Gillespie. Ed, good to have you back.
Thanks for having me here.
So this period of time that matters, 1999 to 2001, and the question of Mitt Romney's tenure at Bain is really what's been at issue, an issue that's been made by the Obama campaign. The Huffington Post described the issue this way. The headline, Romney's signature appears on Bain SEC filings during time he said he left Bain. Between 1999 and 2001, Mitt Romney, then CEO of Bain Capital, signed at least 6 documents that the private equity firm filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Can you understand the confusion here about when he was at Bain and when he wasn't?
Yeah, and the fact is he took a leave of absence from Bain to go and run the Olympics in Salt Lake City. If you remember, at the time, the International Olympic Committee was going to pull the Olympics from the United States, which would have been a huge embarrassment for our country. There was corruption. It was poorly run. It was in chaos. And they needed someone of Mitt Romney's stature and leadership ability to come in and save it. So he took a leave of absence from Bain and left a life that he loved to help a country that he loves more to save the Olympics. And he was not responsible for participate in day-to-day decisions of the management of the company at that time. He was on leave. So as former SEC Chairman Harvey Pitt was quoted in the story about this, it is standard, though, to, while you're on leave, to sign those documents for the SEC. He was still CEO and had shares, but he wasn't responsible for management, and that's the bottom line.
Well, he was still financially linked to Bain, and of course, a lot of his fortune is due to his time as Bain. Even when he was on leave, does he stand by business decisions that were made by the firm he created?
He actually retired retroactively at that point, David, because he ended up not going back to the firm.
He retired retroactively. So I think I understand what Ed Gillespie is saying. Mitt Romney, realizing that this is going to hurt his presidential run, got inside Doc Brown's DeLorean and went back to 1999.
Great Scott!
And retroactively retired. Then he got back into the DeLorean.
Great Scott!
And fair warning, you're going to be hearing a lot about that when we get to the Bain discussion. So if you don't like it, plug your ears. The bottom line is, he had a financial stake. He was majority shareholder. He was CEO. He had to sign off on those decisions. And it's proven he did. His signature is on the Stericycle document. So don't give me all this bullshit about him retroactively retiring.
Great Scott! Great!
Sorry about that. Because it's a load of bullshit. You lying son of a bitch. Just come on and say, you know what? I made a mistake. Remember, it wasn't the crime that got Nixon busted. It wasn't the crime that got Nixon impeached. It was the cover-up. It wasn't getting the blowjob that got Bill Clinton in trouble. It was the cover-up. Victor Rocco wants to know why were the cons so happy when they heard the U.S. didn't get the Olympics 2016. Well, it's simple. Because it was a defeat for Barack Obama. They only love the parts of America that agree with them. Chicago doesn't. So, fuck you, Chicago. And Chicago says fuck you right back. I'm from Chicago. I'm from Elgin, Illinois. 60 miles west of Chicago. Okay? And when I heard them cheering because Chicago didn't get the Olympics, I was truly angry. Because, you know what? That wasn't just a loss for Chicago or Illinois. That was a loss for America, you ignorant sons of bitches. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, we love America so much. I love my country. Woo! Barack Obama got hurt. I mean, these people are sick. I mean, this was literally their reaction when they heard that Chicago lost the Olympics. I've got like 4 variations of the Joker's laugh from the Batman animated series. And all I could say to the people who were cheering when Chicago lost the Olympics is
So tell me, what's it like living in a constant haze of stupidity?
You know, there are things that are sacred. And I believe that the Olympic Games coming to America is something that's supposed to unify both parties, not tear them apart. But I guess I'm just a godless, soulless, unpatriotic liberal. Because apparently something is wrong with me. Because I see something wrong with people who talk about loving their fucking country so much and then cheering a defeat for it. That is not patriotic. That is the exact opposite of patriotic. Maybe we need to start doing what the French did during the Revolution. Maybe we need to erect a gallows outside of Congress and say, you guys either do what's good for the country, or there's going to be another revolution. And you're not going to like it. Sometimes the best message you can send comes from a head on a pike. That's what I want to say. That's what I want to do. Deep in my, but I know deep in my heart that would be wrong. But we got to do something to get these Republicans under control. They are a cancer on this country. They are a cancer on the body politic of America. And as long as they are out of control, this country is at risk. Right now, we are teetering on the border. It's like a seesaw. We are still... as you know, the first segment we talked about Bush. Okay? Never forget, that man did massive damage to this country. Massive damage. He almost killed it. And we are still recovering. If Mitt Romney wins, it's over. It is over if Mitt Romney wins. Because Bush didn't finish the job, Romney sure as fuck will. I'm sure some people think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I don't think people appreciate just how close we were under Bush. We were literally this close. Remember, Bush wanted to be a dictator. He said it. I wouldn't mind living in a dictatorship as long as I'm the dictator. Mitt Romney will finish the job Bush couldn't do. Just you watch. We're going to be back, hopefully with Wes Karskadin, and definitely Macaroni, the official rapper of the Stephanie Miller Show. It's going to be a treat. And Rev Ron points out, hold on, we're going to cut the music for a second. Rev Ron points out that what I was talking about is Alex Jones territory. And again, what I am saying is what I wish I could say. That is what the shadow of me wants to say. And it is a constant fight to keep that shadow of mine suppressed. Because that is all that separates me from a Republican. Is the fact that I suppressed my shadow. I could never hurt another human being. Sometimes I think, how nice it would be if we just, erect the gallows outside Congress and start frog marching Republicans out there. And then I realize that would make me no better than them. Anyway, we are going to go to break. It is the Green News Report. Catch you on the flip side.
I'm sorry, what's that? I can't hear you over the sound of my deafening awesomeness.
This is Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
It's Thursday, July 19, my birthday, 2012.
The Midwest and Northeast bracing for more scorching high temperatures. We're already in the middle of our fourth heat wave of the summer.
Look at this massive haboob coming our way. And it's actually raining inside the dirt cloud.
U.S. weather is going crazy.
Hot town, summer in the city, and in the country, and in the mountains, and on the farms, and in the desert. The GOP goes to bat for Monsanto. The FDA bans BPA, sort of. Plus,
the sky hasn't fallen in.
Australia's new carbon tax fails to cause economic catastrophe.
All of that failure and more straight ahead from BradBlog.com. I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
Stand by for 6 minutes of independent green news, politics, analysis, and snarky comment.
104 to 106 degree weather we had last week just pretty much cooked the corn.
Cooked them in the field. Some of them have just, literally cooked all the way through.
Cooked corn. What are you people complaining about? Sounds delicious. This is your Green News Report. Okay, Desi Doyen.
Wait. Happy birthday, Brad.
Oh, thank you, Desi.
It is your birthday today.
It is my birthday, and of course, across the country, it's hotter than hell. So I guess that's how the nation is celebrating.
That's right. It has been a week of wild weather across the eastern half of the country with more crop failures. And on Wednesday in New York City, the heat wave was broken by a sudden, intense storm, says Stephen Colbert.
These are the greatest people in the world. You have no idea what they have been through today. 145 degrees, followed by apocalyptic lightning and hail. It's as if somebody opened the damn Ark of the Covenant out there today.
Was it really that bad or just another summer storm?
Oh, no. It was really that bad. It was so much water so quickly that it flooded several subway stations.
The storm that passed through New York City this afternoon dumped so much water that stations across the system were springing leaks.
Yeah, it sounds like just another day in the New York City subways.
Not in the 34th Street subway.
A couple hours of rain, and this 34th Street subway station had its own geyser, waterfall, and even its own pool.
Well, that doesn't sound bad. Sounds quite refreshing.
Just imagine what could possibly be in all of that water. It's disgusting.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's that.
Meanwhile, it's official. June 2012 was the fourth warmest June on record globally. That follows the warmest May on record. The U.S. Drought Monitor now says 61% of the continental United States is in exceptional or severe drought, the nation's worst drought in 50 years. Exceptional droughts and extreme heat waves aren't just bad for crops and people, but bad for rivers and power generation as well. The New York Times reports that barge traffic has dropped 70% in some areas of the Mississippi River due to low river flows. In the east, hotter rivers are complicating cooling operations at coal and nuclear power plants that rely on river water for cooling their operations.
The river water is itself too hot to cool the plants?
In many cases, yes.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, NASA satellites have confirmed that a new iceberg has broken off the Petermann Glacier in Greenland. It's twice the size of Manhattan. And what's unusual, scientists say, is that it's the second massive iceberg to break off in 2 years, when normally they'd expect to see something like that every 10 to 20 years. The FDA bans BPA in baby bottles now that BPA is no longer in baby bottles. BPA, or bisphenol A, is a plastics chemical that mimics estrogen and has been linked to reproductive and neurological development problems in children. After years of pressure from public health groups, the Food and Drug Administration announced this week a new ban on BPA in baby bottles. But it's only after the U.S. Chemistry Council, an industry group, asked them to, confirming that its member companies have already stopped using it.
Very courageous of the FDA.
Speaking of weird stuff in your food, House Republicans are working hard on behalf of Monsanto and Dow Chemical, manufacturers of genetically modified organisms, or GMOs for short. The GOP is quietly adding measures to the 2012 Farm Bill that would exempt GMO companies like Monsanto and Dow from legal liability. It would also allow higher contamination of non-GMO crops and force automatic backdoor approval of new GMO products if federal regulators take too long. Finally, Australia officially launched its controversial nationwide carbon tax on that country's industrial polluters earlier this month, with revenues to go to Australian households. And yet, as noted by Australia Trade Minister Craig Emerson, the carbon tax has failed to produce the economic catastrophe predicted by Australian conservatives.
There has been an enormous scare campaign with claims that a leg of lamb will cost $100, that entire communities will be wiped off the map. Gladstone, the Illawarra, Portland, Kwinana, and of course Whyalla. And I was in Whyalla just yesterday. Whyalla's just fine.
Oh man, the first nation in the world to institute a carbon tax to actually charge polluters for the price of pollution, and Armageddon hasn't come?
Not so far.
Give it time. For all of those stories and the ones we couldn't get to today, please check out our website at greennews.bradblog.com. While you're there, please consider a donation or consider it a birthday present to help sponsor the Green News Report. We rely on you, not Monsanto or Dow Chemical, to keep telling the truth over your public airwaves. From bradblog.com, I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
And this has been your Green News Report.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show.
Also, news just recently came out about a 15-year-old girl, I think, over in the UK.
Yeah.
Who's only eating McNuggets, and this 15-year-old
get real sick.
Yeah, her tongue swelled up and she collapsed.
What's the technical medical term for eating nothing but chicken nuggets?
I think that would be suicide.
Turn up the night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com. The More Me Show with DJ Downtown and Eddie Hader. Live from our nation's capital every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern with hilariously scathing inches from the Beltway analysis of this week's political and social developments. The More Me Show at ProgressiveBlendRadio.com and RadioOrNot.com.
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ Killjoy detective.
It's Adam Hebert with Mic Check Radio.
I still don't know who approved that liner. Okay, okay, 2000 IQ, cool. Detective, I can live with that. Killjoy? Oh wait, that was me. Although I do blame Dio because when I played it for my friend Dio, when I played it for her, she loved it. She said, "Yeah, that's good." So Dio, that's your fault. I still won't take it out of rotation though. Anywho, let me double check and make sure my Skype is working. We haven't had a reason to use it today. So we're gonna switch to line 3, line 4. Here we go. Yes. I think we're ready. Let's no sign of Wes. He's probably just running a little late again, but we got to get Macaroni on. He's being nice and let's give him a call. Just double checking, make sure he's ready, and on with the show. Actually, while I wait for him to reply and make sure he's ready, I made this new liner today because I was in a Batman mood for obvious reasons that we'll get to later. But here's my new liner.
Look alive, wage slaves, presenting that caliph of clowns, that mogul of Mountie Banks, the one and only
Adam Hebert. This is Mic Check Radio.
So yeah, that is of course Harley Quinn from the Batman animated series, voiced brilliantly by Arlene Sorkin. So anyway, let's try getting Mac on the line. Hello, Macaroni?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. I tried to make sure you were ready before I called you, but I didn't get anything, so I was like, we're running out of time, I better call him. You're live on Mic Check Radio. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, no problem, man. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. I've heard you on Kenny Pick's show, and I was like, it can't hurt to try and see what he says, because I originally thought this was the Sexy Liberal Show weekend, for some reason. And then I was like, yeah. Oh, no, wait, it's next week. Now, are you, have you confirmed that you'll be opening for them next week, or is that still up in the air?
I believe it's still up in the air. I actually was pretty busy with another show I did yesterday, so I actually haven't been able to touch base, but I'm going to touch base and see and just try to get everything confirmed and locked in. But as far as I know, we're supposed to, so we'll see what happens. Well, but hopefully it can go through.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, give Stephanie Miller an extra hug just for me, because I'm currently staying down in Alabama, but I usually live in Illinois when I'm going to school. So, and I don't think she's coming back to Chicago. I think this is the last year of the Sexy Liberal Show. So
I think sounds like it. Yeah. But what about the other one with Hal and John? Isn't that?
Yeah. I'm going to that one. When it comes to Chicago, well, I don't know if they're going to do just the big city venues or if they may do a smaller venue. If they do, maybe they'll come down to Champaign, because I'm a junior at the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. So,
okay, awesome.
Yeah, and I just want to apologize real quick because there is a small chance I may pronounce your name as macarone because I'm a Japanese student. So the NE is always pronounced as ne. So it's my two dueling languages, English. It's like one time I was talking to people when I was working at Walmart about 5 years ago, and I was saying, no praying on the front line. I was telling my coworkers not to play, and I said, because they don't have the L sound, they only have the R. So sometimes the wires get crossed, and it's nothing personal. It's just
That's funny. No worries, man. No worries.
So, unfortunately, my co-host Wesley Karskan isn't on yet. But I'm sure he's trying his darndest. But I didn't want to keep you waiting. So, again, thank you very much. What prompted you? Because your first contribution to Stephanie Miller was the Sexy Liberal rap, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And
the very first one.
Right. What got you? Where did the idea come from?
Oh. Well, honestly, I wanted to do a drop for Stephanie Miller, like a little rap like that for actually a while. So I had the idea a while ago, and just one day I was playing the beat to the song that I kind of made it off of. It's called The Dougie, and I was like, somewhere in my mind, Dougie and Sexy clicked together, and I was like, hey, this might be it. So I just kind of started writing it, and it kind of just all came together. So it's just, I had the idea for a while, and I was just waiting for that right piece of music to come by, and once it did, it just kind of came together.
Yeah, I get that same thing when I try to write. Sometimes that idea will just come, and I'll write, and all of a sudden, it's like I'll just start typing at the keyboard or writing on a piece of paper, and suddenly I've got like a 20-page story in front of me.
Right, exactly. It's kind of like that, and like I said, I kind of had the thought. I had already known what I wanted to say. I just didn't know how I wanted to say it, so it kind of clicked together. The idea was already in my head, I guess. So, right. And then they played it, and I guess the rest is history, which is pretty cool. It's been good for us. We've been getting a lot of love off of it, so
that's
I
good.
owe them big time.
Like I said, and I will admit, rap is not my first preference of genre, but I enjoyed it. It was funny, and it works for what the show, Stephanie Miller in general is all about. So it was definitely good work.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No problem. And now since you're in California, I've got some clips. Do you ever go to? Have you ever gone to Comic-Con in San Diego?
I have not. I've always thought about going, but I've never went. But I know they just recently had it though.
Right. Well, the neat thing about these conventions is that you can walk around and meet, Adam Savage from MythBusters. I don't know. I know not everyone might know him as Adam Savage, but one of the MythBusters guys goes in costume every year. And can you imagine what it would be like to just bump into him? Wait a minute, are you Adam Savage? But this year, someone talked to Mark Hamill, who famously played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, of course, and he was the Joker in the Batman animated series when I was growing up, when I was like 12. So I cut out this audio, and I thought this was appropriate since you're in California. This is Mark Hamill talking about actually getting a little political. So let's take a listen.
Okay.
When I was a kid, one of the great shows that I used to watch was Disney's Zorro. And I knew nothing about Mexican history or anything, but just the idea of a privileged person fighting for the underdog. There's something very romantic about that. I guess it goes back to Robin Hood. People that are fighting for the middle class and for the have-nots. It's something that we see even playing out in the presidential race. And if you don't vote for Barack Obama, you're insane. Because without him, I think the middle class will completely disappear. And you look at Romney, and I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I think he's like The Thing. He only imitates human behavior. He's not actually human himself. Do you know he had lemonade on the campaign trail last week? He said, lemon, wet, good. Really? He said that. So God bless him. I'm enjoying it running for office, but I just, came out as a lifelong Democrat. Yeah.
So, I found that so funny because first of all, I always knew he idolized those old series like Zorro, but I know, I don't usually think about politics when it comes to celebrities unless they're obvious about their politics, and
right.
I just love how he just comes on saying, if you don't vote for Barack Obama, you're insane, and I think he's right.
I think he's right too, and there was one other thing in there that I like I pretty much agree with everything that he said. The only thing that I disagree with is I don't think Mitt Romney's nice. I think everything he said about the middle class would disappear if Mitt Romney wins, and I don't think that's nice. So well, I mean, I completely agree with him though, and I'm glad he's upfront about it.
What I liked is he went old school by referencing The Thing. I mean, that movie is as old as I am. I think that's from 1980.
He went way back there, and Zorro's that's old too, right?
Yeah. Well, he's almost 60. I don't know if you knew, but he's given up being the Joker. He said it puts too much restraint on his voice. His last run as Joker was in Batman Arkham City, which I've been wanting to play. I just haven't been able to. But one of the best things about that clip was you can hear when he chuckles. You can actually hear part of his old Joker laugh, and I have a sample. I can't resist this.
Yeah.
You can hear it. I mean, that was just awesome. But no, he comes out and he says it. If you don't vote for Barack Obama, you're insane. You're insane, and it's like, yes, that's right.
Yeah, I'm glad he's very upfront, and he didn't just say it. He actually had some reasons and backed it up. Yeah. And his Romney stuff. Romney is a robot. He nailed it.
He is comprised of a series of ones and zeros.
Yes, he is, seriously.
To paraphrase Mystery Science Theater. So.
And that's the problem with campaigning for president. Everything's not scripted, so this dude's he's gonna continue to have problems because he's a robot.
Oh, he is gonna get his butt whooped at the debates. They could charge for that on pay-per-view, and they'd solve the deficit problem. I think people just be, they would just, come on, Mitt, do it.
I think so. It'd be like one of those old days Mike Tyson fights. He'd probably break some records with that if they did that. You got 3 debates, put them on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I think we'd get a big chunk of the deficit off the first one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a poor college student, but I'd pay money. I'd chip in. It would go towards a good cause, and come on. That would be comedy gold, because my style of comedy is based... Are you familiar with Mystery Science Theater at all?
Not really. I've heard of it, but I'm not really that familiar with it.
They watch bad movies and make fun of it. So my style of comedy is very reflexive. I can't tell a joke, but if you say something, I can kind of triangulate off of that and make, be funny. And so
right.
These debates would be comedy gold for me. Just sitting there, pop some popcorn and, I would love to see that.
That's awesome. I actually have a song that's it's called The Great Debate, and I talk about get your popcorn and get ready. And we're probably going to be doing a video for that one soon, so I'll shoot it over to you once I get it.
Well, thank you. I'd appreciate it.
Some ideas already, though.
Well, hey, I'm glad. Yeah, thank you. I'm always glad to inspire other people. But yeah, I do have another clip from the Comic-Con because obviously that was the political, but he does have some other thoughts that I find interesting. And like I said, when I heard this, I was like, I have to have this audio, and I figured you're in California, it's relevant. So here's Mark Hamill talking some more at Comic-Con.
Just the idea of a privileged person fighting for the underdog.
Oops, I think that's. Let me double check that.
And you look at Romney, and I'm sure.
Okay, my mistake. That's the same clip, just a little less of it. I'm sorry about that. there was a
no worries. I like what he was saying there. I really do, though. You know, because honestly, if you're a person of privilege and you're fighting for the little guy, I mean, your character has got to be obviously high, and because you don't have to. So you know, when people do stuff like that, I give them a special kind of respect for that. So I see where he's coming from with it.
I think that the mark of character is when you do something that you don't have to do. Not
exactly.
You know, obviously Mark Hamill. I mean, I don't know his finances, but he's probably pretty well off. I mean, he's getting residuals from Star Wars. He does voice acting now. He was in Avatar: The Last Airbender as Fire Lord Ozai. So he's probably well off. And so for him to come out and say, yeah, we need to do something for little people, I think that shows he is a man of tremendous character. And I've never met him. I probably never will. But just, hearing, and that's the other thing that, I wish I could go to this sort of event. I've been to anime conventions before. But to just hear them speak so candidly, I think, that's awesome to me. But let me double check on this last clip, because I don't think this is a copy, but let's see what he has to say about, I forget exactly what's on this clip, but...
What's it like to kind of be a god when you walk?
Okay, so I had to include this because I found it interesting, just because the question is, he's basically seen as a god for multiple reasons. Again, he was Luke Skywalker, he was the Joker, he's done all these iconic roles.
Right.
So he's asked, how does it feel? And here's his, not political, but I still thought this was interesting enough.
Into a place like that. Well, I love that the characters are night and day. You have the goody two-shoes Luke, who's the paragon of virtue, and you have one of the most depraved psychopaths ever in the Joker. So I love it's sort of like an illustration that you're not a one-trick pony. I love them both for different reasons. Joker's a little more liberating because you can't actually see me. I'm vocalizing the animated version in the video games, but he's so fun because being insane, he's unpredictable, and because of that, never boring.
So he's basically... Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry about that. My mistake.
No worries.
So he's basically saying that, he loves both, he's got this yin and yang. Luke Skywalker, his good character, and then he's got Joker, who is, a depraved lunatic. The only reason why he didn't kill in Mark Hamill's version is because you can't have that on a kid's show, obviously. Right. So, and he can do both, and that's just, it's. I wish I could do voices like that, because.
No, it says a lot about his skill set. The fact, like you said, it's night and day. I can only imagine. Is there a bigger difference, between two characters playing, like you said, Luke Skywalker? All American character right there, and then all of a sudden play a psychopath. It's pretty talented guy right there.
And
pretty interesting to talk to.
I remember when someone first said, "Hey, did you know Mark Hamill's the Joker?" I was like, "No, I don't believe that." And then I listened really closely. And you can hear bits of Mark Hamill, the guy. Even when, like I said, when he chuckled, I was like, wait a minute. He just did part of the Joker's laugh, and he probably didn't even realize it. It's probably like a reflex by now. But it's like, I have to pull the Joker's laugh because, but... No, so, what do you make of all this, Mitt Romney getting caught with his hand in the proverbial cookie jar? He says he left Bain in 1999. The documents prove he didn't, that he was still actively signing paperwork for Bain as late as, 2002.
2002, right, yeah.
So, what's your take on that?
Well, I'm glad everything is coming out. I think people like you and I and other people who listen to the same kind of shows that we listen to are probably excited too, because for us, he's been a poster child of what Occupy Wall Street and other people who can see it you know, we see it all the time. We knew it, but now it's like coming out. And so the rest of the country is getting a chance to see it. So I'm happy about it. I don't believe anything Mitt Romney says. So, you know, if he says he stopped working there in 1999, it's almost certain that that's not when he stopped working there. It's almost certain. Everything he says, you know, if you do a little research, you come up to find out that he's lying. I don't think I've ever seen anybody lie that much. I mean, I've only been watching politics for probably like 10, 12 years or whatever, and actually been paying some serious attention to it. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody lie that much. And I don't think I've ever seen a campaign so unprepared to answer these questions to me that have been in the public for, you know, going on a year since, you know, Occupy Wall Street came out and changed the conversation in the country. So I'm all for it, and I can't wait till Obama gets his hands on it in a debate. It's gonna be that's it.
That reminds me. Thank you for bringing that up. Here is Ann Romney, you know, talking about the tax return issue. I was trying to sit on some of this stuff until Wes got here, but he's running late. But that happened. So anyway, here is her infamous "You People" clip.
Your husband and the tax returns. Both Bushes gave multiple years, 10 and 12 years. President Obama gave 7 years of tax returns. Your husband has been adamant about only the 2 years that will be released. Why will he not follow the example of others on both sides of the aisle?
You know, I think there's reason for all of these things. You know, you should really look at where Mitt has led his life and where he's been financially. He's a very generous person. We give 10% of our income to our church every year. Do you think that is the kind of person that is trying to hide things or do things? No. He is so good about it. Then when he was governor of Massachusetts, didn't take a salary in the 4 years. You know, he is a person...
Why not show that then? Why not?
Well,
why not
you know,
because it's a moot point.
Because there are so many things that will be open again for more attack. And you just want to give more material for more attack. And that's just the answer. And we've given all people need to know and understand about our financial situation and about how we live our life. And so that election again will not be decided on that. They will be decided on who is going to turn the economy around and how our jobs are going to come back to America.
There it goes again. I am so sorry. Now, do you find that as offensive as I do, being referred to as "you people"?
Absolutely. I mean, where I come from, when you say that, you know, that, I mean, definitely you're looking down on people. It doesn't surprise me, though. It's almost like people who say stuff like that are completely unaware because they're looking so far down at us that they don't even realize it. It's amazing to me that they don't even realize. I mean, that reminds me of that one from last time, John McCain. It's like to be like so far off that they don't even understand that. And then there was one other thing that I never actually heard the whole that whole clip, as long as you just played it right now. I thought it was funny. She's like, can't you see what kind of guy he is? Like, he's just this great guy. He's so great. He gives money to the church. I never knew that meant you were a good guy. I mean, or whatever. But you know, he's such a great guy. And then they bust out with you people don't need to. You know, you people got enough.
It's like, rude, and it shows.
Yeah,
it shows
rude.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna. Oh no, it's okay. I was gonna say it is rude. You're being rude to me while you're telling me that he's such a great guy that we don't need to check him.
It shows a fundamental disrespect, I think, for the American people. The fact of the matter is, you're running for the highest elected office in the land. Yes, you are. We are expected to show your tax returns.
Right.
And he hasn't even provided 2 years. He hasn't even provided one yet. He's provided 1 year that was incomplete. What are you hiding, Mitt? You don't want us to think you're being, you know, he doesn't want us to think he's being dishonest, but he won't take steps to show he's not. And it's like, give me a break.
We're supposed to believe it. As many times as we caught you in lies, we're supposed to believe you. Please.
Exactly.
I think that's funny. And you know what was funny too is she's giving off all these examples to her, like, you know, such and such showed this many years taxes, and this person showed this many years taxes. We only need to give one example. Mitt Romney, your father, he showed a bunch of years. How many years did his father show? That's the only example you need, right? That's your dad.
Yeah, and I was born after George Romney was done with politics. I was born in 80. He may have even been dead by the time I was born. But from what I've learned, George Romney was a decent guy, a nice human being, an okay guy, you know. But with Mitt, the apple sure fell far from the tree.
I know, it's confusing. I wonder how much, you know, but did he not get to spend much time with his dad? Because it doesn't seem like very much rubbed off on him.
Anyway, it's getting close to top of the hour, and I know you said you were busy this evening, so we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you very much for joining me, Macaroni. I hope you'll consider coming back. I hope it hasn't been like a bore or anything.
It's been great talking to you, Adam. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you invited me. I'd be happy to come back on too, again, and you know, maybe if things go well, and I get on that Sexy Liberal show next week, then maybe I can come back and talk to you afterwards.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask if you might be open to discussing how it was, but I've got your Skype information. I'll shoot you a message or an email sometime soon. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry, Wes couldn't make it because I told him it's like you might want to be here because he's he's an amateur rapper, and I was like you like this guy, he works at a tourist place in Chattanooga, so he's. Okay. He can't always get out when he's supposed to. Anyway, Macaroni.
Right. I know how it goes, man. We're working people, man. We got to do what we got to do. So we'll catch him next time, Adam. It's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good evening, Macaroni. And I'm assuming you're gonna be up there. Good luck and enjoy the show.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Adam. And man, I'm gonna get up there. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I feel good about it. I'll be back to talk to you afterwards.
All right, as we would say in Japanese class, ganbatte. Good luck.
Awesome. I think that means bye.
Bye is Jana. Right. But anyway, have a good evening. Bye, Macaroni.
Okay. All right, have a good evening, man. Take it easy.
Bye. Bye. Macaroni, the official rapper of the Stephanie Miller Show. And I would be remiss if I did not mention my wise Yoda-like mentor, Kenny Pick, is in the house. But anyway, I am running long for my break. We're going to go to break, and hopefully when we come back, Wes will be on. Here we go.
God, it's like my brain's that tree, and you're those little cookie elves.
Smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
hijinks you can expect from my show.
Hey, McCain was born in Panama.
Yeah, McCain was born in Panama, but,
Right, and they were fine with that.
Well, he was born of American parents, and it was in a U.S. territory.
Yeah. McCain was actually grandfathered in, and what I mean by that is he was born an old man.
Yeah, so it was kind of like Benjamin Button.
Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
This is Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Sorry about that. I could have been a little bit better on the transition time. We are back for our third and final hour. Just a quick recap. Just a quick recap. Did I say kneecap? Recap. We just had on Macaroni, the official rapper of the Stephanie Miller Show, and I am still absolutely alone. Hopefully Wes will get home soon. Let's talk. Since hold on. Massive error. It looks like something's going on. Sorry about that. Hold on, I'm gonna have to shut my box down. It looks like. What the hell? I'm gonna have to shut my box down. Sorry about that. What? What the hell is going on? Okay, damn it, what is going on here? We're having, some sort of problem. It looks like it's probably related to Flash. Son of a gun. 1 second, please, I apologize. There we go. Mic is now hot. Okay. My apologies. I shut my mic off when I was trying to fix what was going on. I I apologize. So anyway, Rush Limbaugh said, well, here we go.
Have you heard this new movie, the Batman movie, was The Dark Knight Lights Up or something, whatever the name of it is? That's right, Dark Knight Rises, Lights Up, same thing.
First things first, Rush, rises and illuminates are two totally different verbs. To rise is to go up, increase in height or stature, and to light up means to become illuminated, which you need to be because you're too stupid to tell the difference. Anyway, continuing on.
Do you know the name of the villain in this movie? Bane. The villain in The Dark Knight Rises is named Bane. B-A-N-E. What is the name of the venture capital firm that Romney ran and around which there's now this make-believe controversy? Bane.
Okay. Continuing.
The movie has been in the works for a long time. The release date's been known, summer 2012, for a long time. Do you think that it is accidental that the name of the really vicious, fire-breathing, four-eyed, whatever it is, villain in this movie is named Bane?
Somebody else made that happen.
Okay, first of all, jackass, as someone who wears glasses, I object to the term four-eye. Four-eyed, any variation. And
badass freak.
So what he's based... Okay, I think I understand what he's saying. So you see, Barack Obama knows Mitt Romney is going to be his opponent in a general election. So, in order to tar him, Barack Obama got in Doc Brown's time machine and went back to 1992 to tell Bane's conservative creators, "Hey, stop!" Yeah, I think you should name this guy Bane. Then he gets back into the time machine. "Hey, stop!" Goes to 2005 when Chris Nolan is planning his epic Batman trilogy and says, "You need to have this guy, his name is Bane." Then Barack Obama gets back in the time machine. I'm not going to play the clip again. Goes to 2012 and makes the Republicans nominate Mitt Romney just so they could step into the rake he laid out in front of him 20 years ago. He gets back to the president. He says, "Oh shit, I forgot about the birth certificate." "Hey, stop!" I apologize. I came up with that. I was like, that's a great comedy bit, and it does now that I've actually done it, it doesn't sound that good. But our good friend Kenny Pick capitalized on this and produced what I hope is going to be a serial as soon as I can find it. Here, for your listening enjoyment, is the first episode of Fat Man and Snerdly.
We now return to Fat Man and Snerdly. We last left our dynamic dittos at stately Limbaugh Manor.
Snerdly, as Consuelo picked up my medications.
tell you. Holy hotline is right, Snurdly. It's Commissioner Joseph Farah of WorldNet Daily on the red line. Hello, Commissioner. This is Fat Man. Yes, I see, Commissioner. Snurdly and I are on the case. The Commissioner needs us to look into this insidious liberal conspiracy smear against Mitt Romney and Bain Capital. I hope you greased up the fat pulse, my friend. To the Fat Cave. Oh, Snurdly, my anal cyst. It looks like we're going to have to sit out this fight, my friend. Yes, just like Vietnam.
Don't miss next week's episode. Same fat time, same fat channel.
Kenny, I like that, but you gotta promise me something. Never, ever mention Rush Limbaugh's anal cyst again. I need some brain bleach for that. But, yeah, so it's, as I said, it's the bat versus the fat, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I think the bat's gonna win. Because we all know what the Batman is about.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
I had to have that clip as soon as I saw the Bane clip. And Wesley Karskadin is on with us, I believe. Wes, are you there?
I am. You would not believe the day I had.
You know, it's cool. I'm just sorry you had to miss Macaroni, but he did say he would come back. So,
hey.
So
I'll
anyway,
actually be here.
Anyway, sorry you had such a rough day. Kenny Pick is listening to us tonight, so we have us an hold on, let me check. We have us an audience of 5. So I think. Oh, Kenny. Next time you're on Kenny says, I met Kevin Conroy, Batman Animated Series voice once. He's really cool. Kenny, you have to tell me that story the next time we Skype together. Please. Please! I have to know about that story. Anyway, so we're talking about the Bane conspiracy theory.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm not going to play the Fat Man and Snurdly bit again. Because we just played it, literally. You got on as I was playing. I'll play it for you at the end of the show, though. But what is your take on this?
I presume that what you're referring to is the crazy idea that somehow a character that was named in 1993, if I recall correctly, somehow was a conspiracy to 9 years later screw with Mitt Romney.
Yeah. Well,
That's really fucking stupid.
Well, and I was saying that clearly Barack Obama went back in time.
Wait! Stop!
To tell them, name this guy Bane. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I had to do that. I had to do that.
I thought you knew this too. Actually, we liberals invented time travel, but we kept it under wraps and are only using it for political means. Like when we, like when we went back in time to stop Judge. Who was the guy that Bork? Yeah, that was us. I admit it. Yeah.
I was only 6 at the time, but it was all me.
Oh, damn! Good job, dude.
Thank you.
I was the one who went back in time, and I was thinking I could either kill Hitler, or fake a birth certificate for Barack Obama. So I decided, definitely the birth certificate.
We cover that. So he goes through time. He does all this just so Mitt Romney will step into the rake he laid out. And then he's like, oh, shit, I forgot the birth certificate. So he gets back in the time machine. And, like I said, I'm not going to waste time with that clip. I mean, it's funny, and I'll probably keep it in my box just because, Back to the Future, awesome film. But I think we can all agree on one thing, and that is Rush Limbaugh deserves to get laughed at. So here is Mark Hamill as the Joker, laughing at you, Rush Limbaugh, you fat ass freak.
I can't stand it.
Brilliantly voiced character. You missed that part too. I played the Mark Hamill audio. I'll probably play that for you at the end of the show too, Wes, unless you mind.
It's all good. Yeah, the great tragedy of the whole thing, though, is that they misspelled Bane.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be B-A-I-N, but somehow it got lost in translation.
Yeah. Well, we have a time machine, so we can go back to the future. No. Where are we going?
The past in this case.
Yes. So, and of course, we will be addressing the tragedy in Colorado for the remainder of the show. After this upcoming break, I would hate to end the show on a sense of doom and futility, but I felt that was something that required both of us here to discuss. Oh, we almost forgot. It's Asshole of the Week. Oh my God, I can't.
Oh
forget.
Man,
we are not.
There's just so many assholes out. It's so easy to forget to pick out just one.
Yeah, it is nearly impossible. I'm not gonna play the jingle because this is related to the to what happened in Aurora, Colorado last night, or not last night, the night before, and obviously it is a great tragedy. And one of the things that really pisses me off is that every time something like this happens, someone on the right wing cannot suppress that urge to open their stupid pie hole. And this week's Asshole of the Week is one of them. Representative Louis Gohmert has had a history of being a complete and total asshole. But this week, he just took the cake. And this is why. So, this is Louis Gohmert explaining why what happened in Colorado happened. Take a listen.
Well, some of us happen to believe that when our founders talked about guarding our virtue and freedom, that
Kenny demands the jingle. So we are going to damn.
Who can say no to that handsome man?
Come on. We are going to do the jingle. So here we go. This is for you, Louis Gohmert. Just for you. We're doing this for Kenny Pick.
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir. I know that. What's his name? Asshole. Major asshole. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. Were you born an asshole?
Asshole?
Or did you work it in your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine. 'Cause you're an asshole tonight. How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
well, some of us happen to believe that when our founders talked about guarding our virtue and freedom, that was important, whether it's John Adams saying our Constitution was made only for moral and religious people, it's wholly inadequate to government of any others. Ben Franklin, only virtuous people are capable of freedom. As nations become corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. I mean, it goes on and on. George Washington, all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion, and morality are indispensable supports. We have been at war with the very pillars, the very foundation of this country. And when, what really gets me as a Christian is to see the ongoing attacks on Judeo-Christian beliefs, and then some senseless, crazy act of terror like this takes place. Yeah.
So let's distill this down for a bit. He is saying, Wes, you can hear me, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I just had some weird note. We're the victims here. It's us. The Christians. If only you guys would let us shove our fucking religion down your throat, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I'd like to know just, because this is in Aurora, Colorado. Colorado, a very left-leaning state. I wonder just how many of the people who shot were atheists.
Not to mention...
But statistically, it had to have been at least one. I mean...
Not to mention, damn it. Aurora, as I recall, is not far from Colorado Springs, which is where James Dobson has his empire. I mean, you know, and I'm going to talk. We need to get through this. We're coming up on the break. Here is the second part of the attack on Christians.
Yeah, most of us that follow the military, love the military, know we have had an extraordinary increase in suicide rates in the military, and it's just heartbreaking. And I've sat with family, you know, around their kitchen table, and they're going, "We never saw this coming. We just, you know, we didn't know." And there was a study commissioned.
Yeah, and Louis, we're gonna have
okay. Well, I'll just say this very quickly. They did 6,000 personality index profiles, and what they found, and I don't know if they'll make it public. And one of the participants told me, you know, the results may not go public, but all of the people who had committed suicide within their thousands of people studied were part of the 2% most atheistic members of the military.
Thank you for joining.
Do you not have a soul? People are dead, man! And you don't even have the humanity to say, this is obviously great tragedy. You know, just shut the fuck up, okay?
It reminds me of a great line from an Immortal Technique song. It says, "First there's a tragedy, and then the comedy begins." Because this is just ridiculous. It's like this horrible thing happens, and the first reaction that, I mean, and I don't want to lay it at the feet of one group, but it's basically evangelical Christians will just find how they can link this to pushing their agenda.
Yeah, and it's sad.
Bullshit.
It's sad. The NRA is doing the exact same thing, and we'll talk about that when we come back. But shame on you, Louis Gohmert. Actually, you know what? Fuck you, Louis Gohmert. Fuck you. You are an asshole. You were born an asshole, and you're going to die an asshole. We're going to go to break, and we'll come back to talk more about the tragedy in Colorado. We'll be back on the flip side. This is, of course, Adam Hebert with Wesley Karskanen, Mic Check Radio. And I have the... Why is it... Cut the music, please. Thank you. I got the Cookie Elves promo... Cookie Elves bumper again. So let's fix that real quick. Because I don't know why it's doing that, because I have it set up to where it shouldn't repeat. So we're going to do... let's do anger management, Wes. I feel like I'm being angry tonight, so let's do anger management.
Sounds appropriate then.
So here we go. We'll be back on the flip side. Catch you in a few... Oh, god damn it.
You're listening to Adam Hebert,
a man with breathtaking anger management issues,
on Mic Check Radio. If you want talk, go to the other guys. If you want conversation, go to Ray Madero's at usaprogressive.com.
The American people need to hold the Republican Party accountable. They're not willing to raise taxes on millionaires and billionaires in order to pay for American infrastructure, put Americans back to work, and educate American children. Yet they're willing to add to the national debt in order to go into another war, this time against Iran.
usaprogressive.com. The conversation starts here. Unfiltered truth, news, and opinion. Filter-free radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott.
You can always go back to Rome and Greece, and then let's face it, kingdoms. You know, it wasn't until a couple hundred years ago that we realized that, hey, monarchies don't work. Let's think of another kind of system of governance. You know, it's something a little less hierarchical, if you will, or at least concentrated power. Then again, when you're dealing with money, capitalism is about money, and the exchange of money, then concentrated power works really well.
Radio or not, and filterfreeradio.com.
Believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, ESP, clairvoyance, spirit photography, telekinetics, movement, full trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and
Mic Check Radio.
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
Okay, get down. We're on. And we are back. Sorry, I was holding the dog for the camera. He comes in the room during the break, and of course I always tell him you're in here for the whole half hour, or you're either out before the break ends, or you're in here for the whole half hour, and he doesn't seem to understand that concept. But anyway, I'm not even going to look at my show prep for this. I think this is just going to be all raw emotion and our personal feelings. First of all, we cannot discuss what happened to Aurora without pointing out that one of our loyal listeners, Kat, lost a friend in this tragedy. He sacrificed himself. He sacrificed himself to save his girlfriend, apparently, and of course, our hearts go out to Kat, to this victim and his family. And I don't even know where to begin. What sort of country are we becoming to where we allow this to happen? And make no mistake, we allow this to happen. As long as, it's like, I had a friend who was saying, well, the Second Amendment covers weapons of war and assault rifles. So you can't say you're against them before the First Amendment. No, you can. It's not black or white, one or the other, all or nothing.
I actually had a rant that I went into about this on Facebook a little earlier that I'd like to touch upon.
Would you like to share that rant? You can, if you can pull it up. You're more than welcome to read it and share it with our loyal audience. I have no issue with that.
Okay, well, let me scroll back up here. I will not include my horrible typo that talks about people not being allowed to have forearms, of course.
While you
How'd
get
it go?
why don't you find it? I'll do the shout outs real quick. Okay.
There we go.
While you do that, I'll do the shout outs. Currently we have Bongwater Radio, a new listener. Hi, Bongwater.
I like him.
You're a hit, kid. Cat0211, our good friend Cat in Ohio. Kenny Pick, my senpai, adopted big brother, and my wise Yoda-like mentor. I'm sure Paul Green is out there, probably Snork. Some people just for some reason seem to have trouble logging into the chat room. And of course, Victor Rocco. So are you ready, Mr. Karskadin?
Yes, I was. One thing that made me very proud of this is that I got likes on this from both my very, very conservative Tea Party family and my very, very liberal friends. So here, I'll be reading it verbatim. While I, like the vast majority of Americans, do support reasonable safety regulations for gun ownership, I think that there's been a huge mistake made in bringing this immediately into a question of gun control, especially dealing with shooting rampages like this recent one. Because gun control seems like it's treating the symptom, not the disease. I mean, access to firearms by mentally ill should, yes, be limited. There should be reasonable safety regulations. But what we lose in that debate is that there's a much deeper cause. It's not about the guns themselves. The guns are a tool. It's about what is leading people in this age of desperation, in this age of anxiety, in this age of loss of identity, for so many people, of isolation because of technology, because of fear, because of people are afraid to connect with one another. That is what we need to look at as the cause for these rampages, not the guns themselves, because the guns aren't going away. Even if we ban them all tomorrow, they're not going away. They're out there. You know, the Russian, the Soviet Union during the Cold War produced more AK-47s than there were people in the Soviet Union. And they've been shipped all over the world. They're out there. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. So what we need to do is, rather than look at the symptoms, is look at the root cause of what's leading to these things happening. I totally went off the rails in reading that verbatim, but, you know.
Oh, no, that's cool. Well, I mean, you raised some interesting point. I'm not saying it's guns. I'm not, and you know, I'm not a gun-snatching liberal. If you want a pistol, a rifle, a shotgun, fine. But, you know, and let's look at this. Okay, obviously this guy was mentally ill. But let's remember, who is responsible for destroying our mental health care, our insane asylums? Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan let all the crazies out.
And it's that rugged individual idea, that conservative idea that you need to be strong and tough and you don't need help, you know. That's what stigmatizes people trying to get the mental health they need. This idea of this machismo of individualism. I don't need any help. I don't need a doctor.
It's any help. You know, I was looked down on when I applied for my unemployment. That's money I earned. That's money I paid for. That's money that's supposed to be there when I am on hard times and I don't have a job. And they treat you like a dog.
Oh yeah, it's called a safety net for a fucking reason. You know, people who are in desperate times need to get this safety net. I mean, unemployment probably wasn't the cause here. Probably mental health care is more likely the culprit. But even so, it's called a safety net so people don't fall into a place this desperate where they do something this crazy.
And you know, what bothers me the most about this is every time the right wing has a chance to act like they're human beings, they fuck it up. You got the NRA. Their first response isn't, oh my God, what a horrible tragedy. Maybe we need to rethink our positions. It's, don't take away our guns.
Oh, fuck the NRA anyway.
Well, I know you're not on their side. I'm just saying, their first response is, it's not our fault. We only fight every common sense gun regulation. You know.
Yeah, the NRA lost any cred they had in my eyes when they backed the guns in bars bill down here.
Oh my God.
One thing I love, it's people getting drunk with guns on them. That just sounds like a good idea.
And of course, Rev Ron points out that it wasn't Ronald Reagan, it was Poppy Bush. Yeah, but it's his name on the bill. So Ronald Reagan gets tarred with that brush. The fact of the matter is, Ronald Reagan decimated our mental health facilities so he could cut millionaires' tax rates. Those chickens...
Ironically, as he was suffering from a mental illness.
Well, Alzheimer's really isn't a mental disease. Is it
not classified as a mental disease?
Well, mental diseases can be treated somewhat. It affects the mentally, but it is a physical malady. Basically, the brain is hardening, and there's nothing you can do about that once that process starts. You can slow down the process, but you can't stop it once it starts.
I must be wearing orthopedic shoes because I stand corrected.
I mean, that's my personal take. I don't really think Alzheimer's. We'd have to do some research. We'll double check, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't know how it's technically classified.
The thing is that they have a chance to say, "Oh my God, what a horrible tragedy," and you have motherfuckers like Rick Warren coming out and saying, "Oh, if only we didn't teach our kids evolution."
Because somehow evolution and shooting people are linked hand in hand. I don't exactly know how.
And of course you have Brian Fisher of the American Family, whatever. I don't know what outfits he was, but he says, "Oh, it's the atheist's fault." Ah! Fuck you. Fuck you.
Never trust a man whose organization has family in the name.
I mean, Jesus Christ. 13 people are dead. Say we pray for the families and move on.
Yeah, fuck them. I hate that shit. It's again, I refer to that line. There's a tragedy, and then starts the comedy. It then starts the people just being total fucking cocks about it. Because, it's just a lack of empathy. It's a lack of basic human empathy that people are suffering, and you don't need to jump immediately into making it your own political axe to grind. That's asinine, it's bullshit, and it shows what a horrible human being you are.
Just you watch. Next week, Rush Limbaugh is going to be blaming this on Obama. He's going to sit here and say, if only Obama wasn't regulating guns, someone might have had a gun. It doesn't matter! We shouldn't have to go to the movie theaters armed! What sort of country are we where we have to think, should I bring my gun to the movie theater? I want to watch a fucking movie!
Yeah, and besides that, I love how they have this, Jack Bauer 24 image that somebody's going to, pull out their pistol and neatly cap the guy in the head. Like anybody in a stressful situation, anybody in a dark movie theater, scared, freaking out, in a crowd, is not going to probably do more damage trying to help. It's a chaotic situation, and it's hard to shoot in a chaotic situation. It's hard to be accurate. It's hard to be calm and precise.
Remember,
and you've just made things worse.
Remember when Jared Loughner tried to assassinate Gabby Giffords? Several people there had firearms, had guns. They just didn't know who to shoot. If they had, someone else might have died who didn't have to die.
Yeah, it's like there's this image that anybody who carries a gun is Clint fucking Eastwood. Can just walk in, calmly give his steely-eyed stare, draw his peacemaker, and empty 5 rounds to the guy. That's not how real life works.
Wrong.
I am just so sick and tired. There's a time and a place for politics. Yesterday wasn't that time, and Aurora wasn't that place. And I am sick and tired of these right-wing assholes co-opting every tragedy to say, if only we forced Christianity down everyone's throat. If only the gays were executed because they're gay. If only, shut up! Go away! You're not wanted!
Yeah, tell me again about all those atheist shooting rampages that have had. Tell me again about all those times that atheism has led to institutional murder. Oh, right, there aren't any.
Well, and
you know what? People love to break out the Stalin was an atheist. Bullshit.
Yeah,
Hitler was an atheist. Bullshit.
Actually, Hitler was a Catholic.
He was Catholic, yes, but it's bullshit. But they love to pull that one out. But that's just like saying, well, Stalin had a mustache and Hitler had a mustache, therefore, anybody who has a mustache is going to kill somebody. Which means apparently I just haven't gotten around to killing anybody yet.
I have a radio show. Don't kill me, please.
Nah, you're not on my mustache murder list.
Okay, good. But no, I mean, I'm serious. Just shut up and go away. Not you, Wes. I'm talking to these stupid-ass right-wingers. These dumb fucks who think now is the time to bring out the political axe and stick it. You know what it's going to be. Oh, it's Barack Obama's fault. Barack Obama hasn't done jack shit on gun control. He has an F from the Brady campaign. A score of 0. Because the NRA will not let anything through Congress.
Oh, even beyond that, he hasn't even tried because there's better things to worry about. He's got bigger fish to fry on his plate. He has to worry about, like I was talking about earlier, the things that cause these things. The desperation, the division, the dire straits that we're in. That's what's going to prevent more gun violence, is keeping people from being in that place. And that's what he's actually working on. Like a fucking adult.
Yeah. And Victor Rocco points out the guy was wearing a bulletproof vest. So even if people had been packing, they wouldn't have been able to take him down.
That's true. I mean, barring somebody who was carrying armor-piercing ammo or was able to somehow in a dark movie theater get him in the head, which is going to be excessively difficult.
But it's like, I've got a friend on Facebook, Brad Richards. You've been in some arguments against him, as I recall. He sits here, he's like, oh, you can't say you're for the Second Amendment and support banning assault rifles. It's not an all or nothing prospect, you ignorant jackass. People are dying. People are dying. The time for politics is over. Take your firearms and shove them up your ass. I am sick and tired of you. You want your firearms? Join the fucking army. Put that aggression to good use because you're not helping here.
Can I just step on an aside, though? This is something that has also come up a lot recently, especially in light of this recent debate. There is no official definition for an assault weapon. There's no difference between an assault weapon and a non-assault weapon, aside from looking scary and being black. Which also works for Republicans, by the way. Looking scary and being black being a definition for evil. Take for example the AR-15 that was used in Colorado, and the example of a Mini 14, which is a hunting rifle. I mean, it's used by some police as well, but it's usually considered a sporting rifle. They both hold standard 30-round magazines. They both run the same caliber. They're both functionally basically identical. I mean, the mechanism's a little different, but that's nitpicking. But one is scary and one is not. So what we need to look at, too, is our definitions. The problem with the gun control debate is that one side is fucking crazy, and the other side doesn't really know its subject matter that well. And so you end up with this debate that just goes into the areas of complete ridiculousness.
Well, and it's like I told my friend Brad when we were discussing it earlier. I said, if I get anything wrong, don't hesitate to correct me, but I think you're off the fucking chain here. You have officially jumped the shark. You are supporting weapons whose only purpose is to murder. You don't need an assault rifle for home defense. I'll tell you what, I think a shotgun would probably be a bit better for home defense.
Actually, yes, it would, because if you're dealing with a home defense situation, especially if you have a family or neighbors or anything, a shotgun with a loaded with shot is much less likely to go through a wall and then shoot somebody on the other side. So, yes, that is correct.
Well, that, and I mean, you nail someone up close with that, they're not getting back up, they're dead.
Oh, yeah, a pistol or a shotgun's your best home defense choice. Don't listen to anybody who says otherwise.
And it's just like I said, they say, don't take our guns, blah, 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 blah. I'd hate to, go to a different thing. Unfortunately, we're at the bottom of the show, so we need to transition, get our plugs in. Again, thank you to our viewers tonight. Bongwater Radio, thank you very much. Kat, again, our condolences. Kenny Pick, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Revron52, thank you. And, of course, Victor Rocco. Paul Green, who I'm pretty sure is out there somewhere. Again, thank you all. Don't forget to listen to our buddies. Before we do that, don't forget the Alien Adoptables charity fundraiser is officially underway as of last night at midnight. Saturday midnight. Today at midnight. $10 Tenor will be doing her weekend event, which is open to anyone, starting next Friday. So if you want art, get it. She will honor any orders received during that weekend, regardless of whether or not she gets to it on the live stream. She will complete your order. And the same goes for any commissions. If you get your order in now, she'll the price is good as long as you order during the fundraiser. So, I believe Kenny Pick...
remember to do that.
I believe Kenny Pick is working on a promo. And Kenny, if that's not accurate, please yell at me and tell me, stop saying that! Stop saying that! Anyway, don't forget to listen to all of our fine folks over at all of our supporters. Of course, there's the fine folks at Radio Not. Nicole Sandler, Monday through Thursday, 10 to noon Eastern. Filter Free Radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Talking Left, which is officially back and staying on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 7 to 10 Eastern. And of course, that's fine, Kenny. Like Kenny says, the promo isn't going to happen. That happens. We're still, we'll just keep mentioning it. Where was I? Kenny Pick, Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, every Tuesday and Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern, and I believe Fridays at 10 is AWAP Radio, and I believe Jilly Bond will be guest hosting Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick this Friday, so that's going to be something to listen to. The Twitter goddess, the Twitter queen. So, parting shots, Wes?
Dang, I don't have time to think of one. Give me a second here. Oh yeah. Fuck anybody who politicizes human tragedy. It's a general rule. Be it 9/11, be it Littleton, Colorado, be it Aurora, Colorado, be it Texas, the Texas shooting back in the 60s. Anybody who immediately jumps to politicizing that shit cannot be trusted. All the way from the Cold War, the people talking about blaming the Russians back in the 60s, the people talking about blaming the atheists today. If somebody has to blame somebody unrelated, fuck them.
Well, and I will say this to our right-wing detractors.
You just shut up!
I mean, seriously, you're not helping. You are either part of the solution or part of the problem. You don't want to be part of the solution, so go away.
Well, I mean, and remember, these are the same people who a few years back, when we were talking about Supreme Court justices, were booing the idea of empathy. Like it was somehow a bad thing.
Oh, it's not just that. I mean, they boo a lot. Like when, the gay soldier. This guy's fighting for them, and they boo him. Or when they cheered because Chicago lost the Olympics. I mean, they're... and of course when you call them on it, their response is...
That's not fair. That's not fair at all.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Point to me the people on the left who are taking it that far. I mean, there's some extreme people on the left, but not that vicious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a saint. I'm not a saint. But I at least, try. I don't call conservatives unpatriotic by virtue of the fact they disagree with me.
No, it's by virtue of their actual actions and things they say.
And again, I'm with you on the idea of we need to get to the root of this problem. But the fact of the matter is that as long as the NRA fights any common sense restriction on gun ownership, it's not going to happen. Because a mentally ill person can go to a gun show and walk out with a gun.
And that, my friend, is where we do agree.
So again, yes, we need to get to the root, but we also need to make these firearms less accessible. My parting shot. Again, conservatives, you have a choice now. You can either be part of the solution or part of the problem. being part of the solution means addressing this issue like an adult, and that means accepting the fact that you are going to have to give up some of your guns, or the ability to purchase an assault rifle, or these big high capacity ammo clips. Something has to give. And when you politicize these tragedies, it hurts yourself and it hurts your cause. Stop it. Of course, I'm sure these words will go unheeded. I'm sure we'll hear Monday morning, bright and early, Rush Limbaugh, "It was all Barack Obama's fault, my friends." Kenny does a much better Rush Limbaugh than I do. But
so I have another observation that this is going to be horribly, horribly insensitive, and I apologize in advance. Would you fucking believe that's the one time one of those 100-round drums doesn't immediately jam?
I mean, I don't understand why, they'll sit here and they'll fight to cheat an effort to make the streets of Chicago safer, but they won't say, yeah, maybe these high-capacity guns or these clips aren't the best idea. I'm trying to think. I think we've got everything done. We'll be back, of course, next Saturday.
Maybe I'll actually be on time next week.
What? Lost feed? I'm still on the air, I think. I'm still broadcasting. Anyway, we'll be on the air again next week. I don't know who we're going to have, although I am working on making a super duper secret booking.
Ooh.
And it's not my mother, whose birthday is Saturday. Or Sunday. I'm trying to book her, but that's not the super duper secret booking. I will say that she did demand airtime, or she would steal the show. So that's the only hint I'm going to give.
You better watch out. Your mom might find a national talent for this.
Oh dear God, I just know she's not. She's gonna I don't know what I'm gonna do. No. We'll see. Fun. We'll have Macaroni back, and I'm sure Kenny Peck will come on sometime soon, too. Again, don't forget our friends at Alien Adoptables, and where the hell is my exit music?
Your mom already stole part of the show. Oh,
No. It's not my mom threatening to steal the show. I'll tell you off the air. I don't want to give it... give it away.
That makes it a very different thing.
God damn it, don't you dare tell me I don't have my... Damn it. Alright, I guess we're not going to be able to do it, so we're gonna check out. Have a good night, everyone. Night.
Peace.
Stop record. Oh, wait. End card.